Hello, hello. Here we are. It is Friday. I need to be more aware of my mic receiver whenever I use it, because I almost always remember to turn my microphones off, but I forget to turn the receiver off. And so then the next day when I go to use it, it's dead. And today is one of those days. I recorded yet another one of my gramophone records last night, and I apparently left my receiver on afterwards, and so now it is dead. But that's okay. My camera audio isn't awful, and so I will be using that. I want to talk to y'all a little bit about finances, something that I am pretty well with, but also not super in trouble with, but also need to be more aware of, if that makes sense. So, ever since I got this new position, I've been bragging about being able to save an unprecedented amount of money now. And the honest truth is, I was able to do that for about 3 months. And then I think things started to snowball in November or December time, somewhere around then. And then the snowball has just grown and continued to snowball. And it's interesting because every time I do the monthly expenses, like the estimated spending, it's never all that much. But then when it comes time for it, it's quite a bit. Oh, there's me on the billboard. I finally made it to the billboard. I haven't seen myself on there in a long time. At any rate, I set myself up to be able to save about half my check every month. And for various reasons, these last couple of paydays going into January, February, into the new year basically, I haven't moved anything into savings. And that's through a combination of reasons. I needed to play catch up coming off of Christmas, and it wasn't so much that Christmas was catch up, it was that I had to wait a lot longer after my paycheck in December to get paid again in January. And so that was more the issue than anything, and it kind of set me up on this weird road. And then from there, I'm still struggling with the spending habits that I developed back when I was building my house. Because when I was building my house, I had terrible spending habits, and I would buy a lot of very expensive things because I was putting it towards the house, which meant that the overhead cost that I would owe on the loan was lower. So there's a benefit to it. But those spending habits have not gone away. And what I don't know, or what I don't understand perhaps, is where it's going now. And I have a pretty good idea of where it's going now, but I don't, I need to get my hands back on it, because I'm over here talking about trying to get a hold of the savings and make it better by June. And I'm just like, June is halfway through the year. I can't wait half the year to finally start saving stuff again. But I keep running into these issues. Not issues, but things. So I wanted to have my newest book edited by both my editors, one of which is significantly more expensive than the other. And so one of them, I think his overhead cost to edit the book was $400 or $500. The other lady's is like $1,800, I think, because I'm paying almost $900 twice for this lady to read this book. And I find value in what they say, absolutely, but like coughing up that kind of money is not easy to do. And so this month and last month, I pretty much spent my entire paycheck, which is like not terrible when I'm paid monthly, and at the end of the month I've pretty much spent up what I've earned. But that's not what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be saving half of it and spending the other half of it. And so I need to figure out where all this is going. And the problem is, and this always happens to me, is that my birthday, albeit the 5th month of the year, always kind of like sneaks up on me. And so my birthday this year, like, I never put money into savings the month of my birthday, because I like to be able to just spend money like an idiot and do whatever the heck I want. And so I know I won't be saving in May at all. But what that means is I have my March paycheck is pretty much the only one at this point that I'd be able to save anything from. But the March paycheck is going to be like the last paycheck for a lot of these high payments that I've acquired. So like I'm paying $750 a month for the billboard ad, and that's running for 3 months. And so at some point in time in April, it will go down. And then I've paid for that, and then the second payment for my editor is due also in April, which will be another $900, and then the artist friend of mine that I'm paying off will be $5, and so that's, let's see, 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's like $2,200 right there. So yeah, I guess that that tracks when I do the math in my head, because pretty much what I would be throwing in savings is what I'm spending on these extracurricular things. And so if I decide to then not spend that money, great, but now May's gonna come around the corner and be like, oh, actually, you've got all this money to spend for your birthday now. And so I think, like, realistically, I don't think I'm gonna get back into seriously saving until probably June, which is unfortunate because we're halfway through the year at that point. But like, even if that's the case, like, I'm still doing better than I have been. I'm just not doing as good as I'd planned to be doing. And that's not some end of the world terrible thing, but it's also just kind of I don't know how I put this. It's just not great either, because I want to be ahead of it now, because like I fell off in December, and so it's like I'm going to fall off this December as well. Like, am I going to do really well June up into December and then be like, oh, well, here we go again, falling off the wagon? I don't know. But yeah, so that's the tricks that I'm running into. And like I said, at least when I do the math in my head, it tracks. So when I get to a point where I'm no longer having to pay this editor, and I'm no longer having to pay for this billboard ad, and I'm no longer paying for these things that I needed to pay for, then hopefully I can get back on track there. Honestly, I don't, where am I trying to go with this? Get back on track. And I need to, like, not sign up for any other, like, major payments like that anymore. because I think that's the other thing is like, since I'm not immediately putting the money into my savings like I have been, it's there, and so I feel fine to spend it. And I need to start getting away from that. In fact, I might just import my entire savings somewhere else so that I can't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. And just blindly have money thrown into it. That, I think, would probably be the better way to go, rather than trying to just maintain it the old-fashioned way, which is fine. I have good self-control. I just need to dial myself back. But like, I'm taking the whole advertising thing so seriously now that I really think that where am I going with this? I really think that that's why, like, I've been signing up for a lot more of these payments than I normally would, is because I'm like, I need to get my name out there. I need to advertise myself. I need people to know that I exist. And so because of that, I now, oh boy, I'm doing all this stuff that I wouldn't normally be doing, and now I'm kicking myself. My savings is in a fine place, and I think that's part of it too, is like, you reach a point where you're stocking money away into your savings and you don't necessarily feel like you're doing anything with it, if that makes sense. Like, I read financial advice, where they're like, throwing money into a savings account that's not making interest that at least keeps up with the cost of living is a waste of your time and your money. And that's what I've been doing for a good while. I got more than a good enough emergency fund built up, and now I'm just kind of letting my money play with itself so that hopefully it'll duplicate itself and become something. But if that doesn't happen, then I need to at least get back to putting something in there just so that it doesn't grow stagnant. But I've got a lot of things going on, and I think this one here in March will be another wash, more or less. I'll probably spend most if not all of what I'm granted, and then it'll probably be the same for April going into May, because May is my birthday and I don't want to have to worry about not spending money on my birthday. And so I'll probably do the same thing April going into May, and then that May 31st payment, that will have to be when I really get down to brass tacks on there and be like, okay, I have got to turn this around now. And so we'll see if I can hold myself to these expectations that I've set. We'll see if I can get where I need to go. But I'm confident I can get there. I just needed to talk about that this morning, because like, I'm on the week stretch now where I have like $400 left in my bank account a week before payday, and I'm like, how do I keep getting this low, or this how do I keep getting this way when my initial calculations were that I would be able to save like half my check and still survive? And I think that's just because I've accrued these super high payments, albeit temporary things. They are still super high payments. And then like, I've got these high concept things that I want to do. That's another one, is I reinstated Compression Man, which is $400 a minute, which isn't awful, especially when you compare the other payments that I'm doing, the $750 or the $900. When you are paying that a month, $400 doesn't really faze you. But pretty much whenever 1 minute is done, I'm having him roll immediately into the next. And so if he manages the 2-week schedule that he says he's going to, then that means every month that's $800, which that adds up. But it's like if I'm not also paying the $900, I'm not also paying the $750, and I'm not also paying the $500, then $800 is honestly pretty tame. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get everything squared by June. That's my hope, is to get everything squared by June. I'm going to set up automatic transfers. I got to reset up all my automatic transfers because a lot of them are happening at weird times. And I honestly might have everything just come out on the 1st, because I was doing, I did my house in the middle of the week, because back when I was being paid bi-weekly, that worked out. But now I'm getting paid monthly, and it's just kind of annoying, because like I pay all of my bills right there first of the month, and then I still have my mortgage, which is my bigger bill, just kind of hanging out waiting to get paid until the 15th. And so instead of that, I would rather just, okay, it's first of the month, I know all my bills are paid, this is my play with me money, and that would be pretty good. And so we'll see. It's also like that weird period of time now where it's kind of springy and kind of wintry, and I turned off my heat for the winter, because that's a huge chunk of my electric bill. My electric bill is like normally $200, but if I don't go with heat or AC, then it's like 40. And so that's a good chunk. And so I turned it off, but then there was a weekend where it got down to like 26, and I woke up in the morning and it was like stupid cold, and I was like, what is going on? And it was 26 degrees outside. So then I turned my heat back on, and I was tired of being cold, so I left it on for a couple of days. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Anyway, finances. I will get them squared by June, and I'm sure you guys will be hearing about it. Thank you, and good night. Or day. It's actually going to be morning soon.